At this juncture, we're calling upon the second paper presenter in person of Dr. Alan Onyema, the Chairman, CEO, Airpeace Airline, to come up for his breakout presentation. And you know what? Please listen with keen interest. His topic is very, very enticing. Amnesty and de-radicalization option as a tool for address social unrest in communities. Lessons from the Niger Delta Amnesty Program. Please listen with keen interest. I think there are a lot of things you're going to pick from this. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. The Chairman Organizing Committee of this program, the Royal Fathers here present, Emir of Unity National State, Emir of Katagu, Emir of Das, representative of the Emir of Kano, Emir of Sangare Tuluwada, my brother who is seated by my side, Alhaji Abubakar, the eloquent Honorable Commissioner for Education, Washington State. Please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. And of course, our brothers and sisters from foreign countries, from Mali, Gambia, Senegal, Germany, and France. When my brother, the Commissioner for Education in Bauchi State, finished speaking, I said, there's nothing left for me to say. You intimidated me with your eloquence, but not just eloquence. The facts of the things you were saying meant a lot of meaning to my soul. And I thank you and I congratulate you and the government of Bauchi State for, for the good work you guys are doing over there. It pains my heart so much that a country of about 378 ethnic nationalities, Nigeria is made up of about 378 ethnic nationalities. That is, you have Igbo, Hausa, Fulani, Gwari, Nupe, Yoruba, Ijo, Isha, and Urobo. 378 ethnic nationalities that made up this beautiful country. The problem is, we've never been able to harness this diversity called Nigeria. This is a very beautiful place. Massive strength. There's strength in diversity. If only we can love ourselves, have an open mind towards each other. America today is a great country. Everybody wants to be an American. But how did they get there? America is the melting pot of all ethnic nationalities in the world. The Red Indians are made up, the regional Americans are very minor. Every other person there is a visitor. But they have a land today to themselves called America. So why wouldn't the Fulanese have a land in Nigeria called their own? All we need is to have an open mind to issues. The moment you block your mind to issues, then you start having problems. America opened their diversity visa, and everybody wants to go to America. But what they do actually is that they need more diversity. That is why they are giving countries these diversity visas. So they come here, they take from Fulani, they take from Igbo, they take from Hausa, they take from everywhere to enrich America the more. Meanwhile, God has given us this diversity in Nigeria, and we don't know how to make use of that strength given to us by God. Every ethnic group in this country is very important. All we need to do is to harness the positive attributes from every ethnic group, bring it to the table and make the country greater. I wish, but I believe we are getting there one day. You should not despair. Nobody should lose hope about the nation. The nation will wax stronger and stronger. Nigeria is going nowhere. We are going to be won by the special grace of God, inshallah. So, they brought me here today to talk about amnesty, the amnesty program, and how it helped to bring peace in the Niger Delta. My friend and brother, Engineer Saleh Al-Hassan, the Secretary General of this group, called on me to come and share the story with you. For those of you who may have forgotten, the Niger Delta people, believing that they've been not fairly treated in the Nigerian nation, complained and complained and complained. And when they felt that the authorities were not listening to them, they took up arms, believing that that was the best way to address the problem of marginalization. Before you knew it, criminals infiltrated the group. It became a different ball game entirely. Violence everywhere. People were being kidnapped. Foreign oil workers were being kidnapped. Businesses were taking flights out of Niger Delta. Oil installations were being bombed on a daily basis. Crude oil export production nosedived to 300,000 barrels per day, from 3 million barrels per day. And you know what that meant for a country that's solely dependent on oil production for its economy and well-being. For a country of about 200 million people or over, depending on 3 million barrels of crude oil per day, now having to cope with only 400,000 barrels per day because of the activities of these violent militants. Nigeria was heading for destruction because the economic base was being battered. The military couldn't solve the problem. Militarization of the system couldn't help. All the forces in this world couldn't conquer them. They were winning the battle. At the time, the oil companies decided to leave production of oil from the land, they went deep into the sea. These boys, without compass, native intelligence, paddled their boats straight 100 nautical miles into the sea and destroyed Bonga oil field as a sample to show the world what they could do, their capabilities. That was when the international community took notice of Nigeria that this had gone beyond jokes. The country was heading for disaster. But there was a solution. I say this because of what is happening now. All we did was some of us woke up one morning and said, look, how do we help our country to come out of these woes? So I gathered some few people, I started researching, and I discovered that non-violence education, just like my brother, the Commissioner of Education, was saying, could arrest a lot of vices. Every mind needs education. And just like he said also, education is just about, it's not about getting degrees. No. There are certain functional education that can radicalize the mind, disabuse the mind from having certain beliefs and certain vices. And once you're able to do that, you change the human being. So I remembered that Mahatma Gandhi in India was fighting the same cause the Niger Delta people were trying to fight for, but he never encouraged his followers to carry arms. What he did was to use nonviolence education, and they succeeded in bringing down British rule in India, and they had their own independence. He never encouraged them to take up to arms. So I said, that means this nonviolence education is powerful. Maybe we can introduce that to the Niger Delta people. Maybe they will change. I remember that Dr. Martin Luther King did the same thing in America and used nonviolence education to bring down official segregation in the United States without having to encourage war or violence. I remember that Lech Wałęsa of Poland in 1981 used nonviolence also education to bring down all-powerful communist regime in Poland without having to shoot anybody or kill anybody. So we decided in the Foundation for Ethnic Harmony in Nigeria, which I founded, that we should look for who will come and teach us this nonviolence education. I started researching, and I got the University of Rhode Island Center for Nonviolence and Peace Studies at Rhode Island in Kingston, United States, led by Martin Luther King's #1 aide during the Civil Rights Days, to come and teach us this nonviolence, so that they could train me, train my staff, so that we'll be able to go into the creeks and confront the militants. So that was what we did. I paid for about 25 of us to attend it, but the American embassy didn't give us visa. They thought I was packaging some group of Nigerians to run away. I applied the second time, they refused us visa. I applied the third time, the American embassy rejected us. They didn't give us visas. And I wrote to the school, and I had already paid for these 25 people to attend the course. I wrote to the school, I said, look, it's not about going to America. It's not about going to America. Can you come to Nigeria and teach us this nonviolence? We want to save our country. I persisted. One morning, I received a letter from Dr. Bernard Lafayette Jr., the director of the center, saying, I'm coming to Nigeria. We are bringing the entire faculty to Nigeria, but you know, it's an expensive game. He said, it's very expensive. I said, I can afford it. This was in 2004. I said, okay, I'll bankroll it. I did it for love of country. So I paid for it. They moved the entire faculty to Nigeria. We used the Eco-Tourist Beach Resort in Akodo, Ibejuleki, to do the training. So they did the first training, then the second training, they took us to the King Utility Transformation Center in South Africa to deepen our knowledge of the program, because we are going for a very dangerous assignment. I could confront violent people and stand them without being hurt. Yes. So we now went in to the creeks, started picking them one after the other, converting them. When you convert somebody, you educate the person. We took him to Agodo, trained them, took them to South Africa, trained them, brought them and planted them back into the militant camps to destabilize the camps. Before you knew it, they started bringing in so many of them. Within 1 year, by 2006, we knew militants would end. Power of education. That was what my brother was saying. You see, when he was saying it, a lot of people would think, what is he talking about? The cosmopolitan talk. What is that? What he is saying, if it is actually, if everybody has the mind and the will to implement it, you change the lives of the nomads. Everybody desires to live a good life. Everybody, the nomads, desire to live a good life. They desire to be reintegrated into society. The lack of integration, whether you like it or not, some people might not like what I'm saying, but the lack of reintegration of the nomads or the hiders or whatever name you call them is not safe for society. Because every mind is supposed to be educated. And it is the duty of the states to take care of these people. It is the duty of the state to take. That's why I said the most important thing is open-mindedness. No matter where you're coming from, whether you're Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba, have an open mind to this issue. First of all, don't be sentimental, don't be driven by emotions. What is it that's actually causing this problem? I've been asking my brother Sally that question on several occasions. What is actually causing this problem? If you look at it, deprivation. Deprivation is part of it. You leave the people to be roaming about. They don't have identity, like he said. No particular means of abode. No address. That lack of identity can turn you into an animal. So the first thing is for the country to really come out and invest in their well-being, to give them identity. If you don't give them identity, let me tell you something. If you disrespect me, the worst thing you can do to a man is to disrespect a man. If you disrespect a man, he could do you anything. Because you're bringing him down to the level of an animal. So he can react in a way you don't like. If you come to my house and you don't see any other place to take my wife to, and you do it in my own house, you are disrespecting me. I could turn to a tiger and devour you and eat you up. So, lack of this reintegration, lack of acknowledging that these people deserve a better life. They deserve urbanization too. If you neglect this, someday, it will haunt you. That is why I said in this nation we must have an open mind to it. The truth is that you like it or hate it, the Fulanis in Nigeria have been stigmatized. The same thing happened in the Niger Delta. Every Niger Delta boy was being looked at as a militant. The same way people think that every Fulani man is dangerous, because people don't have open mind to issues. People don't have open mind to issues. I tell you what, some people might see me and him and say, why moving with this kind of man? My wife is from the North Central. When it was announced in my village in the East that I was marrying somebody from the North, you don't want to know the shouts. A girl asked me, how can you kiss an Hausa woman? You can imagine. So we are laughing, but this is serious. People need to be educated. Let us have an open mind to each other. People need to be educated. The kind of education is not going to one school, university. You see professors asking this kind of stupid questions. Yes. In fact, the ones that imbibed the Western education grows up to professorial whatever, that what that even worse when they believe in certain things they want to believe. Then we must, all of us, must begin to do something about it. So what happened in the amnesty program was that I and my group started kicking these boys, started training them, transforming them, putting them back to transform their members. And that is the same thing we have to do here. I will discuss with Saleh, I'm the president of this group. I told Saleh 2 years ago. You're most welcome, Your Highness. So, as I was saying, when we started getting them, if you get somebody out of the people causing these problems, you can reach out to others. When we got the first 10 militants, trained and transformed them, took them to South Africa, planted them back to the militant camps, started using them to bring down orders, to train and transform. The truth is that everybody in violence wants out of violence. That's they want to live it, but they don't know how to live it. So the moment you teach the person how to live it, becomes a happier man. He doesn't want to continue doing that, which he's doing. The suicide bomber doesn't really like what he's doing. The armed robber doesn't really like what he's doing, but he doesn't know how to live it. The moment you teach him and give him a new being inside him, everything changes. He becomes a happier person even without money. So that was what we did to the boys in Niger Delta. They were billionaires making money, but when we got them, they radicalized them, disabused their minds. They started seeing the other way of life. It became a matter of time for them to give it up. So by 2007, we had trained and transformed about 2,000 core militants that you couldn't look eyeball to eyeball. But it happened. The oil companies discovered what we were doing and called on me. It was Shell that first called on me. How are you doing this? I explained to them. Shell now started bankrolling me. They started bankrolling me in millions. And we started doing more. Chevron joined, other oil companies joined. When President Yaradua took over, may he so rest in perfect peace. When he took over, he sent to me a library, who was then the MD of NDDC. I have a security report on Alan Onyema and his group, what they are doing. I got a security report that they are trying to arrest these militants that is working. Timmy said yes, that actually someone who wanted to kill him was, he saw the person now preaching peace all over the place. That in fact he had employed some of them at the NDDC to be working. Yaradua now invited us, how are you doing this? We explained. He said, why not train the militant leaders themselves so that they could come and have meeting with me? The man meant well for this country. So that they could come and have a meeting with me. Let us see how we solve this problem. He meant well. He meant well. That was how Amnesty started. Then they gave me some leaders, about 600 of them, to train. It was that transformation, I was told, that made him to say, okay, in that case, these people will actually be pardoned. And when they are pardoned, they will be able to reintegrate into the society. That was how he proclaimed the pardon and the amnesty to the militants. And today, you can see what is happening. Some of them are pilots, they've been reintegrated. Those people you thought, just the same way we look down on the nomads. Those people who have been looked down on, they didn't go to school. Some of them today could work in the oil companies, they could work everywhere. Do not look down on anybody created by God Almighty. Never you. Never you look down on anybody. That small boy carrying stick and walking and can you imagine the intelligence one used in commanding a herd of cattle of over 1,000? Do you know what that means? And you want to look down on somebody like that because he's not a professor, he doesn't have doctor behind his name? No way. No way. You have to pay him respect. You have to show him respect. The Fulanis of Nigeria, you earn respect. Do not allow yourself to be stigmatized. Do not allow yourself to take a name you do not deserve. You've contributed to the well-being of the country so much. I'm not talking about politics. Food-wise, these are people who are feeding us. So we must, as a nation, find a way of solving these harder farmers' issues. But we cannot solve it if we don't have an open mind to each other. If we believe that one side is hegemonic over others, if you believe that others could be downtrodden, let us, all of us, both Fulani and the others, and other Nigerians, have an open mind to these issues. I believe it could be solved. When there was this quick notice to Igbos in the north, about 3 years ago, I think, I wrote to the presidency. I said, give me permission to engage these people, and I did. That was when I took Saleh, some of them from the Ariwa side, some from IPOP, some from OPC, some from Mieti Allah. I took them, I brought the Americans to give them that non-violence training, and they were all wild. You see, it pains me that in this country we don't do follow-up so easily. What happened in that training? I saw the same IPOB people. I saw Lady Allah, I saw Ariwa, I saw OPC celebrating each other. Saleh is alive. They decorated Saleh with Igbo dress. The IPOB people know that wouldn't want to see him before. He decorated them in Fulani robes after the training. They became one Nigeria. On the night of that, was it that bombing of pirate, what is it called, snake dance or whatever? Python dance. Yeah, Python dance. When they attacked Umaya. All of them cuddled in the same room with the younger Nandikano's brother. And like Nigerians, we became one Nigeria on that night. They showed empathy to each other. So I decided to take all of them to the United States. I sponsored all of them to the United States. Saleh was there. They all went to the United States to deepen their transformation. We need to do more of that. We need to do more of that. Train more people to educate people. This nomadic education, we have to revive nomadic education. We have to revive it as a nation. And see, it's not just government alone. The private sector should also be openly involved. We don't have any other country. In this country, boys, everybody goes down. So we must, as a nation, decide that from today, we have to start seeking ways of living together in harmony. It is very, very important. It can happen. Non-violence education, we've trained Saleh up to the United States. I am ready to fund the training of over 100 of them. And I will train them within here. I will send them to the United States and train them so that they can come back and arrest the other nomads. Arrest doesn't mean to go and put them in prison. No. What I mean is to arrest them with education. Because one person alone cannot do it. I am ready to sponsor about 100 of you volunteers. I will do it. I'll bring them here to do the first training in Nigeria, and I will sponsor you to the next training in the United States. I will fund everything like I did before. I will take all of you there, but you have to work. You need to come back and help in arresting the situation while government is seeking ways to solve the issues created by these normal farmers' clashes. People will be arrested. It's a fight of survival. Everybody needs to survive. How do we do it? In peace, with love. That's what we are saying. May God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Let's clap one more time for Chief Allen Onyema.